Uck it. See if the robot picks that one up. We're back. Yeah. Back in the saddle. I've been reading the room, seeing what people are up for, and then I've decided to make something different. So I'm making steak sandwich, 2 hairbands. Just kidding, only one. I don't give a fluff. Look, I haven't changed. I'm still a fucking dickhead. Now, I'm sure there's a gazillion ways to make a steak sandwich, and good on them. This is another way to make it. There, screenshot the shit. We use one of those fucking apps that flogs everyone's recipes. Substitute things, put things in, don't put things in. Chili, oh, I don't like chili. It's like hot, or it's mouth hot burnies. Yeah, don't put it in there. The major key to a good steak sandwich is not fucking minute steak. If you don't know what minute steak is, it looks like that. It's like shit steak, real flat out. You know why they call it minute steak? Because it's a minute fucking fine at the bin. It's fine, it serves its purpose. You know, if you're in a big hurry, fucking, whoa, fuck, in a minute steak through, yeah, but yeah, we're not in a big hurry here today. It's a Scotch fillet, has a little bit of sinew in it, has a little bit of fat in it, which means when you cook it, good. If you like, a little bit of salt on the steak early on while it is coming to room temperature. Room temperature, it's like, the best way to work out what the room temperature is stand in it. Let's caramelise some onions. I've got a fun way of doing it that speeds shit up. Onions, fucking, what colour onion, doesn't fucking matter. You can use either of them. A little burp there. It's a wild channel, this one. Oh, there's a burp on it.
Demonetised.
Hey, welcome back, mate. Onions, two or three of them, doesn't matter. It depends on the size of them.
Some of that size, some of that size.
Also fucked it, I forgot to do another thing. Turn the oven to fucking 200 degrees. See? Oh, onions, we'll get back to that in a second. Garlic, get one of them or two. Cut the top off it. Put it in some foil. Drizzle a little oil. Wrap it up like a little pressy. And chuck it in the fucking oven for about, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes. One thing I will say, because we're making onion jam, imagine you were spreading jam on something. We'll jam this fucking idea up here. You don't want a long stringy bit of jam. So like if you cut them into just rings, it's going to be fucking like that. I just like go in half, give it a little one of those ones, half again, and then fucking these ones. What's the problem? Oh no, is this pan not work?
Not magnetic.
It's not.
No.
Oh, I can't use this fucking pan, spewing. Oh, another pan. That's right, use this one. That'll work. Into the pan, olive oil. Oop, there you go. Brown onions work just as well. In fact, I made it with brown onions yesterday and it was
Very nice.
It keeps a while. This, so you can make it and fucking stick it in a jar, stick it in the fridge. It'll last months. As long as the fridge doesn't turn off while you're on holidays. So, there's two ways of doing it. One way is the more, I don't know, I suppose old school way. Old way is kind of do it, keep stirring it, bit of balsamic, bit of brown sugar. There's a pretty cool deglazing technique. It kind of means that you can cook them a little bit harder, turn the heat up and fucking get into it. It'll start to get a little brown. And then when that happens, in with a bit of water, that deglazes the brown shit off it. And so on and so forth until these look caramelised. Because I like to party and stick in a couple of chilies. It's quite nice. It does cook out a little bit. It's not super hot, depending on the fucking chili you use. Yeah, of course you don't want to burn it, but it doesn't matter if you start to get a bit of a char on there. So you can probably see a little splash of water. Try not to tip too much water in at once, because then you'll end up boiling them. It's certainly not the fucking end of the world. It's kind of like risotto, just, you know, a bit at a time of the liquid. Fry it off a bit more. Unless you've never made risotto, then you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've got a little bit of thyme. I've wrapped it in a little bit of string. In we go. Just for the last kind of 1 or 2 whacks. How are we looking? That's fucking lovely. Fuck yes. We could push that even further. We might. But yeah, that's fucking lovely. In with, I don't know, 2 big heaving tablespoons. Chuck some on the bench. Good. We'll start with that. Some balsamic vinegar. It's quite syrupy, this one. I reckon 1, 2, 3 banana. You can turn the heat down a little bit for this bit. You just want to cook it together. So we'll just let it cook through for a couple of minutes. I'm going to give it just a crack of salt, not too much. If you're cooking shit like this and you're thinking, fuck, might be nice to put in a bit of paprika, a bit of a spice, whatever you like, do it. Just try it. You could probably whack a bit of cinnamon in here, maybe even a bit of nutmeg. Have a play around, fuck around with it, and let us know how you went. I'll probably not see the comment, to be honest. I'm fucking having a bullshit you. I might. You get a better chance if you join the Patreon. Don't you tap into that. Oh, get out of it, you fucking legend. That is looking fucking lovely. And that was like 3 big onions, and that's turned into not heaps. Fuck off. Yep. That's it. That should come with the thyme. I'm just going to store it in this jar. Onion jam. And yes, I expect to hear some comments about me tapping the ceramic. Look at that. Anytime you need some, it'll be there. Fuck off. That is so good. Well, I can hang over here while I make the rest of the shit. Now, it is time. Out we come. Very nice. There's 2 of them and I only put 1 in. How does that work? I don't know. How do magnets work? Exactly. Okay. Bum nut. I'm going to separate the yolk. Just crack it and pass it between the things. That's fine. Boom. I've got this on top of that, so that I can do one thing with this hand and one thing with this. Just whisk the fucking yolk apart, and we're going to add things. Some kind of neutral oil, neutral flavoured oil. It's incredibly fucking easy to make this. It just takes a bit of this and a bit of that, but it's that matters. This, as long as you keep whisking, we're right. You need to dribble this in, and I mean like fucking Big Night on the Bundys, dribble it. It speeds up, don't worry. Very, very little. Keep this stirring. Just little drops. Little tiny little drops, mate. Little drops, matey. Oop. Oh, we're dropping from 2 sides now. That's right, we'll be right. Drop, drop. This is just my way of making it. I'm sure there's other ways to make it. There's other ways to fucking do everything. So as you can see, it's getting pretty mayo-y already. Probably wouldn't eat that yet. And at this point, you can start to stir a little bit more of it in. You can speed up on the dribbling. You'll see, blah, 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 keeps going, keep going. 3/4 of a tablespoon of Dijon. Just go a little bit at a time, maybe, you know, 1/4 of a lemon to half a lemon. Sometimes if I like to party, I put in a little bit of horseradish cream. Oh, fuck, it's good shit. I know that sounds weird, horseradish cream. It's fucking good shit. If you think I'm full of shit, that's fair enough, but stick it with your steak, trust me, it's fucking lovely. Don't knock it till you try it. Now, if you do fuck this, and it's like, why is this watery shit, and it looks split, what you can do is start another one of these, egg yolk, start with the oil, start even slower, and then once that starts to do the very nice, slowly introduce the shit one to the good one. No food waste. On ya, Sonia. How good's this part? Bowl not moving. A heavy bowl does help as well. Garlic out. This is very nice. I'm sure this will look fantastic. YouTube will send me a frisbee or something for this. Just squeeze all the garlic out, all that roasted garlic. In you go, mate. You can just squeeze the garlics into a little bowl on the side and just mash them apart and make it all nice and smooth with a spoon or a fork or something. But the whisk will do the same job eventually. tiniest splash of vinegar in there. There's a bit more salt. I'm going to put more horseradish in. Sound up. Pretty happy with that. Fucking done. It's good gear. There you go. Enough for the whole fucking street in there. Now I've got to cook the steak. It's not a particularly thick cut steak, so it's probably going to cook quite quickly. I'm not going to do this here. I'm going to do this where a range hood is and film it there. Because I tried to do it here and the smoke alarm went off its fucking head. So we're not doing that. I'll have my hands in it so you can believe it's me cooking an actual steak, Dad. Come on down to Dad World! Alright. Fucking chill out. Dad World! Now, what I will say, before we go any further, it's really great that you can cook a perfect steak, Russell, is no one gives a fuck if you're the steak master from fucking Planet Steak. Food isn't a fucking competition. It's for eating, okay? What this does is help you understand what the temperature of something is when you can't see the inside of it. The thickness of the steak, the temperature of the pan, or the barbecue, or whatever you're fucking using. Not that, I hope. That's banned. If I find out someone's been microwaving steaks, I'm deleting the channel. I won't. I'm a coward. If the meat isn't totally even, then it won't totally evenly cook. If you cook the fuck out of it, it's probably going to be quite chewy. But that's all right. If you've got teeth, you'll get through it. If you're trying to cook it medium rare, for example, use this. Stick it into the thickest spot, and when it says about 55 degrees C on here, take it off and let it rest for, I don't know, 10 minutes. It'll be lovely. If you cut it straight away afterwards, no one gives a fuck, you'll be fine. If you let it rest, it's a little nicer. That's the temps for the things, all right? Let's go. Righto, know-it-alls. Yeah, I'm using a cast iron pan, but it doesn't fucking matter what you use. Nice and hot, get the fucking thing in there, render the fat, fucking turn the steak every 20 seconds. You think that's weird? I think you're fucking weird. Try it. Give it a baste, fucking keep flipping it, stick the thing in it, get fucked. Tray. Paper. Couple of buns, cut in half. Very nice. I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. You don't have to do this. It is a bit lushy. Bang this under the fucking grill so it gets a little toasty. And then pull it out, and I'll put cheese on one side, put it back in. How do we go? Oh. Not fucking bad. Come on down to that world, wearing your favourite clothes. Fucking come on down to that world, kick the toms all night long. Very nice.
That's fucking good.
Yeah, that's good. There you are. Blow it out your ass, David. In the distance. Come down to Dad World, where'd you get your steak? Dad World. Thanks for cooking, eh? Yeah.